I don't blame them. We work hard for our money in the West. If you don't know, we work our butts off. I haven't worked nearly as close to how much I worked in the States. There was one time where I worked 18 hours a day. The only thing I had was a coffee break when I was working for KPMG. Literally close to working like a slave. I am going to let you know exactly the mindset that you need to survive in Ghana and Africa in general. If you do not possess this mindset, you are better off staying in the West in your cozy, cool environment, work your 9 to 5 and have your peace of mind. Well, I want to start off by letting you know that living in Ghana is not for the faint-hearted and it's not for the impatient. You must possess some sort of mindset to come down here in order for you to succeed, or you are going to run away in a matter of a month or less, because what you are used to, how you operate is totally different, and you do have to understand that you are in a different environment. So I'm going to help you out, right, so that you can prepare proactively rather than being on the ground and being shocked. When you come down here, you have to understand that your employee mindset is not going to benefit you here. Why am I saying that? Well, a lot of people do not pay well in Ghana, which means when you come here looking for a great job to pay you, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $2,000 even $1,000, you will be lucky to find that job. The labor market is tough out here. As you are aware, the population in Africa relative to the jobs available is not much. And most of the jobs available pay pennies. I'm talking about $50 a month, $100 a month, $150 a month. That is the job for the average Ghanaian. There are some instances where you have a good job, right, like an international company or something like that, that you will be lucky to earn dollars where you can get $1,500, $2,000, $1,000. But this rarely comes by. So if you do have the employee's mindset, I think you are better off staying in the West, because this job that I'm talking about, which was going to pay you $1,500, $2,000, which is rare for you to find, you might want to leave that for the locals to take, because there's not much jobs out here. So if you are somewhere, earning $4,000, $5,000 a month, whatever it is, and you're comfortable, why would you want to come down here and take the opportunity that could easily go for a local for yourself, right? Just don't do it. You are doing the people down here a disservice. You're not helping anybody out. So stay back there and build your beautiful house here and visit from time to time. And hopefully when you retire, you can come and relax and live a very comfortable life, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you are daring, if you have the entrepreneur mindset and you're not looking for a job, you are actually coming here to create a job, then clap for yourself. If that's the mindset that you have, then clap for yourself, because that is the people that we need down here, right? The population of Africa is growing at such an insane rate, and the governance in place to put systems and jobs in place to help this rapid growth that's going on in Africa, it's not happening. It's not happening fast enough, right? The governance is not happening fast enough, and the government needs some help here. So it's you and I, the people coming from abroad with a little bit of money in our pocket or some sort of experience that we had from the West that we want to bring down here, right? Because we want to solve the problem of us Africans trying to run away. Sometimes you can't blame them, right? When life is really tough for you, you got to find an opportunity. The problem down here is most Africans go to school and we are taught to get a job, and that's the only way. They are not self-sufficient. They can't think outside the box to create something for themselves. It's only a few percent that do it, and they make it big down here. But the average person is just like how we are in the West, is looking for a 9 to 5 job, and there is not much down here, and that's all they know. That's what makes Africa so tough. So this is where you and I come in. People from the diaspora, right? If you are back there, it's cool. Just set up something. You employ 5, 6, 10 people. You are making a huge difference to the country, more than you think, because 500,000 of us is employing 5 million, right? And the population of Ghana is not that massive. Absolutely less than 40 million. So just look at the number. It's not as big as you think. All we need is about 1 million diasporans out here setting up businesses, and it can change the entire country. Just think about it. Not even 1 million. 500,000 of us out here, creating business that's employing about 10 people can change the entire trajectory of the country. Just think about it. And this is the reason why I preach that entrepreneur must set up something to help. Everybody's talking about the government. The government can absolutely do a lot of stuff to change, the state that we're in, but individuals must be entrepreneurial. And because of the lack of, good credit system here, a person can have a great idea and yet they cannot execute it because they don't have access to that capital. That's where you and I, my friend, come in again, because we are coming from outside. We got a little bit of money in our pocket, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, whatever it is. We can come down here and set up something with ideas, what we've seen outside that's working, that's not down here yet. We just implement that and we can make a lot of money in the process, employ people and help the economy develop. Now, this is exactly what the foreigners are doing, but the downside is when the foreigners are doing this, when they make the money, they don't keep it down here, they ship it out. And also some foreigners come here because they know, the cheap labor that's going on here. When they come, they take advantage of that and they do not pay the people fair. So the people down here, again, these jobs, they employ, yeah, but life is still miserable for them, right? So when you come down here and you're making money, you absolutely don't have to be that selfish. You should think about the people as well and pay them well. Pay them more than they would have gotten without you. That's how you're going to move up on the ladder. That's how you're going to get out of poverty, right? You got to pay people well, right? You got to pay people well. Of course, your business also have to survive. Coming down here and setting up something is absolutely what we need. If you have that, if you possess that ability, that, mental toughness, right? The mental fortitude to come down here and start something and then, make it successful, then Ghana is absolutely for you. If you are coming down here looking for a job and try to get paid well and live a simple, stress-free life, please stay in the West. You are way better off. Stay in the West, work, save some money, build a house here, come and visit from time to time. When you get to 65 and you retire, you can come down here and just enjoy retirement. There's nothing wrong with that. But the people who have the mental fortitude and they are ready for the mental agony and the pain that's going to come with moving to Africa, the uncertainty, find your own people, the mindset that people have here because of poverty, people will try to drag you down. You are helping your own people and they will pull you back. As I'm going through right now, I'm in court because I decided to buy land and build a mini mall to support the locals, employ at least 30 to 50 people. And somebody said, nah, you a black man just like myself. Who the hell do you think you are? And as a matter of fact, you are young as well. I'm going to make your life a living hell. And I am in court right now fighting that. But it will be over. You have to be selfless, right? Like how Jesus Christ died for us. Basically the same thing. You got to come here and save your own people. Though they'll put you on the cross, but you got to save them. Somebody got to do it. You got to have good heart. And you have to be down here and be ready. A combination of good heart plus being a shark, right? Because you can't survive in business without, being a shark at the same time, right? Another thing is, how much do you appreciate comfort, right? So when I'm in America, everything is very systemized. Everything works. We advanced, easier lifestyle, train system, bus. You don't have a car, but you don't have money. You can easily get that on credit. How comfortable are you in the system? If you're very comfortable in the system, you depend heavily on it. You are a terrible saver because you've been living on credit your whole life. Well, Ghana might not be for you because when you come in here, everything is cash-based, which means when you want a $100,000 car, you got to pay cash. When somebody's driving a nice car down here, you see it, that person is absolutely balling, and they paid that money out of pocket to buy that, right? There was no way around it. The credit system doesn't really work much over here. So you, my friend, coming from outside, coming in, you got to buy your car in cash. And you have to pay your rent a year plus in advance. Did you get that? You got to pay your rent a year plus in advance. Well, some of us come down here and we want to live lavishly, right? We want to live in a city where, we have everything. Most of us are not willing to deal with a totally different environment, right? So we want something that is easy, that's familiar, that's close to where we are coming from. And that's going to cost you in Ghana. You want to live in the urban areas, the cities like the East Legon, the airport residential, cantonment, you are paying $1,500 plus a month in rent, right? It can go as high as $5,000, believe me or not. So imagine having to pay $60,000 cash or $37,000 cash, you know what I'm saying? Or $22,000 cash because it's a year in advance. And now having to go buy a car and then everything else that comes up is cash. So you got to get your money right before you come down here. Unless you do not care, you have some sort of humility, you don't mind living amongst the local. I'll tell you a story. My neighborhood is a developing area. I was driving one day and I saw this white guy in Ghana living in a house that was like, this house supposed to be rented by a local. And I was surprised to see that white guy in there because usually, when you see these white people out here, they're out here to do their business and stuff like that. But this guy is living amongst the local. This guy is paying like less than $150 a month in that rent easily. And he's living among the local. He actually even parked his car outside because the car cannot go into the place that he's renting. It blew my mind. Like, I'm like, wow. So If a white person can come and live in a, I wouldn't call it ghetto, but in a very local community amongst Ghanaians, and living a very modest lifestyle, literally. The guy is basically, I think, easily living on like $500 a month, right? This is doable. But most of us coming from the diaspora, that's not what we want. Our lifestyle has to be equivalent to our previous life, where we left in the West, and we want to, maintain our lifestyle, or we want to upgrade. That brings me to another point. If you want your life to be easy and simple in Africa, please try to build your house before you make that permanent move, because as I mentioned to you, rent is a big chunk of what you have to deal with in Ghana. And the rent in Ghana is bizarre. It doesn't make sense. If you're looking at it costs to build a house, when you buy a house price is a bit higher. So in Ghana is expensive, right? But you can buy a piece of land, a plot of land, which is 70 feet by 100. Now, back in the days, it used to be 100 feet by 100 feet, but now it's 70 feet by 100 in Accra, especially Greater Accra region. You can buy a piece of land in an upcoming area for about $5,000, which is what I did in 2016. And then you can modestly work your butt off in the West and put up a nice structure. Now, it doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to be a mansion. It could be a nice 3-bedroom house, 4-bedroom house. By single level, you're not going to spend as much as going up another level, right? But if you got a great job where you're bringing 10K plus a month in the States, and you are modest and good with savings, you can actually put up something nice, like, something that's going to cost you a good $250,000 plus. If you have the means to do it, sure, go for it. But it's absolutely imperative for you to have that home base, that house that's paid for completely, that you own outright. Because first of all, if you come down here and you work for, let's say, 10 years and you don't accomplish anything, at least your house is going to appreciate in value. You're not losing out completely. That's one, from protecting yourself against the risk that you are taking. Secondly, that huge amounts, like every year you have to pay $30,000, $25,000. If you're coming from the West, most of us, like I said, we're not like this white guy that I gave the example of. We want to live lavishly, right? And it's going to cost us $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month. So every year you got to cough up $36,000, $25,000 to pay your rent for the next year. All this money can be heavily invested in Ghana, as I'm doing now. Own my house outright. I don't have to worry about paying rent or anything like that. And I'm buying land left and right. I'm buying land in strategic places and understanding real estate, knowing the location that's gonna, pop off later. I just keep buying land, right? So 10 years from now, right? God forbid, but 10 years from now, all businesses fail. I've accumulated so much land that it's hard for me to fail. I can go to the West in 10 years and I have still easily accumulated about $1 million in real estate, right? Just land alone, right? But we are blown past that because I created something, and God blessing the boy, Arcadian Limited, that is generating steady income. I'm employing a lot of people. So the example that I'm giving you and the advice that I'm giving you is something that I'm actually doing, right? Arcadian Limited, I'm employing a lot of people, right? We got people in the office. We got people on the ground, a lot of people on the ground. When we're building a house for someone, we have a lot of laborers on the site, and most of these people have families, and we are paying them. Some of them are buying motorcycles, buying cars, some of them buy land after one project. You are doing something good, right? You came down here, you left that comfortable lifestyle. You came down, you created a job for yourself. First of all, you're making money for yourself. You are improving people's lives. You are absolutely improving people's lives. Let's take me, for example. Arcadian Limited, which is the construction architectural company that I have. We are doing a number of things, but the core goal is to make it happen, right? We have a lot of people outside of Ghana that would love to build a house here, but of course, they are working for someone. They don't have the time to come down here and build a house and go back and forth. It's too expensive. They've trusted a family member before, they got screwed, or they trusted a friend, they got screwed. So Arcadian Limited, which is a company that I co-founded in Ghana, what we are doing now is we have people who have never been to Ghana being able to purchase land. Right, land is another issue. Most people can never buy land and build in Ghana. The land alone, it will never happen. You buy land, there's this issue, they kick you out. I'm solving all of that. You want land? Guarantee that you're gonna build on your land? I'm your guy. Reach out to me and I will find you land. Pram, Afienya, Shy Hills, I'm your guy. East Legon and those places, you can find somebody else. That's not me. I don't deal with, that's not my terrain, okay? But not a single person has purchased land through me and had an issue. So that throws off a lot of people as well. Buying land, there's issues the first time, throws them off. I don't blame them. We work hard for our money in the West. If you don't know, we work our butts off. I haven't worked nearly as close to how much I worked in the States. It was one time where I worked 18 hours a day. Okay, the only thing I had was a coffee break when I was working for KPMG. Literally close to working like a slave, for lack of a better word, right? They work their butts off to bring this money here. People outside of Ghana, they are not sleeping on money. They're not plucking money from the trees. That is not what's happening. They are working very hard for their money, okay? And when they send the money down here for you to do something for them, build a house, whatever it is, and you spend that money, a lot of people get discouraged. They don't want to have anything to do with Ghana at all, and I absolutely understand. But there are legit companies here that issue you insurances, proven track record and all that stuff that can easily help you buy land and build as well. Or you can just go and purchase an already existing building, okay, and you eliminate the risk. Okay, now I'm doing both of them, right? I'll sell you the land, I'll design for you, I'll build for you, even make you furniture. No problem. With Arcadian City, I'm gonna build the houses and then sell it. And aside from me, there are other companies that are selling houses. So you could look into that. If you want to move to Ghana and start a life and help people out like I'm doing, it's absolutely imperative for you to own your house. Now, it doesn't have to be something big. You can start small, build a 3-bedroom house, something modest, nice, spend like $70,000, $80,000, build something nice for yourself, and then move down here. And hopefully, whatever business you have in mind that you wanna do blows up so that you can build something bigger for yourself if you want, or you stay in that house, right? Owning your house is absolutely imperative. We know that Ghana is not perfect, right? I know that, you know that. If you are aware of Ghana, you know that Ghana is not perfect. Your water will go off, they'll cut the water off, unannounced, it will happen. Your electricity will go off. It has been more bizarre in the past 3 months. Electricity in Ghana has been crazy, right? We all know the electricity in Ghana was unreliable, but now it's crazy. Now, what are you going to do about that, my friend? You can complain. You can say because of that you don't want to live in Africa. Both of these problems are easily solvable by one person, and it's not going to cost you $1 million to solve it. So let's look at me, for example. Me coming to Ghana, I was well aware of Ghana doomsday, which is a light going off and on. Unannounced, it could happen any day. Like I said, it's been more bizarre in the past 3 months, but it has always been the case that your light will go off every once in a while. But now almost every day they turn the light off. I don't know what's going on in the country, but this is the reality on the ground. So what are you doing about it? Now that's where solar systems come in. Ghana has been blessed with no cold weather, and the sun is shining every day. So as you are building your house, as you are planning on building your house, this is another reason why you don't want to rent, because you're not going to put solar systems on somebody's house, are you? Yeah, you might, but the wiring that you're doing is going to be, when you move out, you can't remove that. So you're going to leave some of your investment there. So if you own your house, it's easy to solve your problems. Become self-sufficient, okay? If you're coming from the West and you're coming to Ghana, you got to have that self-sufficient mindset, okay? That all you got. You're not dependent on the government. You don't dependent on somebody doing this for you. You all you got, okay? You got to have that mindset. And it's actually good for you because in the near future, that's going to be the case when the population gets so freaking big and now we're fighting over food and stuff. Are you self-sufficient? So that's the mindset you need. You set up your solar system, right? I'm not going to talk about having a generator because the generator is going to cost you a lot of money in diesel. When the light is off the whole day, you're spending money on diesel, you do maintenance and all that. Like, solar is much better, right? It doesn't cost you a thing. You have your initial investment, you set it up $15,000, $16,000, $12,000, whatever capacity may be, and that's it. Panels is forever. Battery might get weak in 20 years or whatever, you might have to change it out. But until then, you don't have to worry about anything. Which is why I'm telling you that solar systems in Ghana is something that you absolutely need on your house, in your house, before you come. Unless you don't mind, being in the heat during the day, they will turn the light off. As I'm recording this video, the light is off. But, I got my lighting system on because I got my solar. I came prepared. So that's what you got to do. You need your backup power. And it's going to save you a lot of money in electricity because electricity is not cheap in Ghana. ECG, especially if you used to the cold weather and you love, your ACs on and stuff like that, it's going to cost you. So having a solar, it's not just for the doomsday, the light off. It actually saves you money in electricity in the long run. It's a no-brainer. All right, so you got the power side of things figured out. What about your water? It's a couple of things. Some people are in areas where there is no Ghana water. There is no Ghana water there. So you need your own borehole and your filtration system. If you have your solar power and then your filtration system, your problems in Ghana is essentially solved. You don't have water problems. You don't have electricity problems. You are good to go. Now, let's say you live in an area where you have Ghana water. You don't want to waste money to go dig a borehole and the filtration system. So you need polytanks. Yeah, you need polytanks. Backup water. Almost every house in Ghana has that. Well, unless you don't want to shower, you don't mind eating and all that stuff. Other than that, you need a backup water supply. And you got to think that this place, Ghana, the place I'm living, they're capable of kind of like the water off for a week. Well, it doesn't happen in my area. They cut off for like a day or two. But sometimes they will cut it off saying they're doing maintenance, but they won't even tell you. For 4 days, it's gone, right? And your backup water is going to supply you the water. So whatever the government do or whatever whoever does, you don't care. Like, your life is being lived as if you were in America because you solved your own problem. You, my friend, are self-sufficient. And that's the mindset you need down here. If you have this sort of mindset, you're an entrepreneur, you want to set up your own business, you want to solve your own problem, you want to put a power on top of your house, you want to solo it up, you know, you want to have your borehole, you have your backup water. You're not thinking about, oh, the government is doing this, oh, that, blah, blah. Ghana is for you. But if you're somebody who's really relaxed, you just want to do your 9 to 5, you just want to get paid, you want the government to do what they got to do so you can live a comfortable life, you don't want to solve any problems at all, you're a complainer, you know, you just cannot take the stress, it's not your thing, then Ghana is not for you. You should stay in the West, live a comfortable life, come here in December, party with us. There is absolutely nothing wrong at all. But as I mentioned, the population of Ghana and Africa in general is growing at such an insane rate, and we need to create jobs for these people. They do not have the systems in place. The credit is not in place. The mindset is not in place. A lot of people, the idea of starting a business is ludicrous to them in Ghana. They are still on the old school factory worker mindset, right? They put you in the school, obey, you can't even talk back. Timid is a real thing here, and you know, keeps a lot of people from even thinking that they are capable of starting something on their own. They're lost. So you, my friend, you're exposed, you've done the 9 to 5, you've done it for 20 years, you've done it for 30 years, you've done it for 10 years, you've done it for 5 years, my friend. You have the experience, you know how it looks like, you got some money in your pocket, and you want to sell something and employ 5 to 10 people. 500,000 of us is all we need down here, and we can make a huge impact, right? 500,000 of us down here, creating business that's employing anywhere between 5 to 10 people can make a huge impact. That's what I'm advocating for. I'm not telling you to come to Ghana because it's much better than America. I'm telling you to come to Ghana because Ghana needs you. I'm not telling you to stay in Ghana and don't travel out because Ghana is better. No. I'm just letting you know that people out there work their butts off. It's not easy. There are challenges everywhere. It's a different sort of challenge. You're going to be employed and you're going to get paid good dollars for sure. But there are challenges in there. Depression, a lot of people in America is obese. Endless. It's a lot of problems there, but it's totally different from money problems here. You want to work. You want to work. Like the people down here, some of them actually want to work. They're begging for the work. They can't create a job for themselves. They need to be led. Like I said, the school system programs, most people here, they are helpless. They want to be employed, but they can't find it. In the West, you will find that. That's why Africans go to the West. They run to the West. You get a job immediately. They'll pay you. Yeah, your taxes and bills will take most of them. But if you are smart, you can easily make it as compared to here working for somebody else. You can make a great living for yourself. I'm well aware of this, okay? But not all of us are going to get that visa to move out. As you know, Africans are looked at as less than. Our passport is not that strong. So only a small percentage of Africans are going to get that passport to move out. So what about the ones that's here? Do they deserve to struggle their entire life? Do you think it's the sole responsibility of the government to solve everybody's issue? No! Look at Tesla, look at Microsoft, look at these big companies, Apple, employing a lot of people. These are individuals that set up something that employ people. And that's what we need down here. We need a lot of people set up businesses and employing people, and it would change the economy. And the government is going to do their part. But most of it is up to the individual, right? The individual mindset collectively. And I believe it's us, the diasporans, that's going to make that impact here. We're going to make a huge difference in Africa. This is the movement that's going on. Don't get left out. Because as more people pour in, as the foreigners are coming down here, but like I said, when they make the money, they take it out, right? So you don't want to be late to the party. This is what I'm preaching, and this is what I'm humbly submitting to you to think about it. Have you saved enough money that maybe you can take a plunge? Can you invest something back here while you are down there? It's not easy for a business to thrive without you here. But these are the things that we have to talk about and think about. Well, if you've not subscribed to the channel already, kindly do so. Like this video as it helps with the algorithm. Comment, let me know what you think. And until next time, my friends, be legendary. Peace.